Susan. On behalf of the Highland Park Public Library, I'd like to welcome you to Library in Your Living Room. As you may know, the city of Highland Park has had to cancel its Memorial Day observation this year. But they have suggested that the residents of Highland Park place poppies in their window as a way to observe the solemn occasion. So today, I'm going to show you how to draw a poppy using Pixlr, a free online photo editor. So here we are at pixlr.com. We're going to use Pixlr E because it has the tools that we need for this project. So I'm going to click on Pixlr E. This will bring me onto a home page. As you can see, I created a poppy earlier, but I'm going to show you how to make another one. So we're going to click on Create New. And we're just going to use the full HD size. That's perfectly good. And I'm going to click Create. Now, poppy petals are relatively easy to draw because they are basically two shapes, a heart shape and an oval combined together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our colors. Down in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see that we've got our two colors. The top color is the stroke color. The bottom color is the fill color. So I'm going to set my fill color to be a nice bright poppy red. There we go. And I'm going to say OK. This is my tool for making shapes. I'm going to click on that. And as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of shapes, including a heart shape. I'm going to select the heart, but I don't want a stroke. I don't want my red to be outlined in green. So I'm going to click on stroke and I'm going to bring it down to 0. So I'm going to draw my first heart shape. And there it is. And now we're going to take a circle and we want to add a circle to the heart. But it's going to be very hard to draw the circle exactly where we want it on the heart. So we're going to make a new layer by going over to the right and clicking on the plus sign. And we're going to make an empty layer. And now we're going to draw the circle. And as you see, I've drawn a circle. You can't really see it very well because it's the same color as the heart. But if I click on this arrow, I can move the circle until it's in the right place to make a poppy shape. And that looks pretty much like a poppy. So since I'm happy with this shape, I want to turn my circle and my heart into one shape. So I'm going to go back over to the right and I'm going to click on the 3 dots next to layer 2. And I'm going to click on this little button with the arrow down. That's merge down. And when I click on that, you'll see my 2 shapes were merged into one layer called layer 2. So there's my first petal. Now the fun thing about this is I've drawn a perfect petal. I don't need to draw it again. I can click on duplicate these double squares and the computer has made me another petal. I'm going to click on it again and it's made me another copy. And if I click on it again, it will make me my 4th copy. So now I have my petals. I want the petals to all be turned in different directions, however. So this one I want to flip. So I'm going to flip it vertical. And then I'm going to bring it up and attach it to my first one. Now I'm going to click on this one and I want to rotate that one to the right. So I'm going to click on the rotate to the right arrow and it's rotated and I can push that in there. And this one, rotate to the left. It's the arrow facing left. And we'll push that in there. And now you'll see I have a basic poppy shape. Now it's a little dull because these colors are all the same. So we're going to go down to our green over here in the corner. And if you see, I have this little eyedropper, this little dropper that shows up. I can bring that over the red of the previous poppy and click on it, and it changes it to my red poppy color. And then I'm just going to slide it over a little bit to the side, a little bit down to make it just a bit darker and richer red. And I'm going to say OK. So now you'll see, if you look in the corner, I've got two slightly different color reds. I'm now going to click on the paint bucket, and I'm going to color two of the petals on opposite sides that darker red by clicking on them with the paint bucket. I have to select my layer. Here we go. And we'll click on that one. There it is. And then I have to find my other layer. And there it is. There. And now you can see I've got a darker petal in the back and a darker petal in the back. And then in the front, I've got the two lighter colors on the side. Now, finally, with a poppy, it has a big black center. So we're going to go back to the fill color of red, and you'll see they have a black right there. I'm going to just click on that black and choose it and say OK. And then I'm going to do my shape again. I'm going to make a new layer, make it empty. I'm going to grab a circle, and I'm going to draw a black circle. We'll grab it and we'll put it in the center. And we'll kind of line it up a little bit here. Make it a little bit bigger, I think. And that tells me that is exactly centered. So now let's grab our thing and look at it. And that looks pretty good. Except this petal right here, if you see, it's underneath this petal, but it's on top of that petal. So that looks a little odd. So let's see what layer that is. That's layer 2. We want that layer to be above this layer. So I'm going to go over to the right, and I'm just going to click on it and drag it above that one. And there. Now we have a perfect poppy. Now, as you see, our poppy is much smaller than our canvas. If I were to save it as is, we would have all this extra empty space, and we don't need that. So I'm going to go over to the crop, and I'm going to pull my sides in, and I'm going to crop my canvas size down till it is just filling up the space of the poppy. And when that's done, I'm going to say apply. And now you can see my canvas is only the size of the poppy. Finally, I'm going to grab my top layer here, click on the dots, and I'm going to click on this one that says Merge Visible. And that's going to turn all my separate shapes into one object. And there we have it. We've drawn a poppy. To save your poppy, go up to File and click on Save. You want to save it as a PNG, because if you save it as that, you will be able to stretch it to pretty much any paper size, which will make it nice, because you could print it very large or you could print it very small, and it won't get distorted and pixelated when you do that. I'm going to give it a name. And then I'm going to click Download. It's going to ask me what I want to do with it. I could open it or I could save it. I want to save it because I'm going to print it out later. And I'll say OK. And if you look up at the top, it's all downloaded and we're done. I hope you enjoyed this and you will make a poppy to put in your window for Memorial Day.